Hello YouTube gang, it's Joseph Berry here with another episode of Design Direction. I've been very busy lately. I'm also very tired, lots going on, and I know this is one that a lot of people have been asking me about, loads and loads. So I thought it was about time that I pulled my finger out and got around to doing it. And that is the Joseph Berry music page that I did, which is on the Webflow showcase. And it's this kind of hero kind of slider menu that basically moves via scroll position depending on where you are to create this really nice effect. Now there's lots of little bits that are going inside of there. There's the kind of image in the center that changes. What I'm going to show you is basically how we create that movement section. And then it's up to you how you want to build out and change and do different things with it. You know, there is some possibilities, obviously, from the example that I've shown you of how you can push that a little bit further. Don't forget, guys, if you like the video, please hit that thumbs up and subscribe. And no more time wasting. Let's get straight into it. Right, so moving into the example. So obviously here we have the site here, and this is worked by a mouse position and it's moving certain elements. There's a few things that are going on here. So the elements in the background are basically triggered to the scroll position, and I've just worked out the timings of these to change depending on where that mouse position is to get this image to change in the background. Now again, that's a little bit more complex, and I think what's really nice is more about the navigational elements and the way that that moves. And obviously we've got these other elements here which are, again, just slightly timed different, again, to give that kind of movement, a little bit more movement as we're scrolling through that. So jumping into Webflow, let's create a new page. I'm going to create a new page. Let's call this new. Drop a new page in. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop our first div down, and we're going to call this, I'm just going to call this parent, and we're going to give it a width of 100%. And we're going to give it a height of 100 viewpoint height. Probably put the position onto relative, and I'll set the overflow to hidden. I think what we're also going to be doing on this is probably putting this on flex, center. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to drop in another div, and we've got this div here. And what we want to do with this is we basically want to call this the parent of that copy section. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this text. So there is already one in there, text parent. I'll just call this text parent 1. And I'm going to put the width to 100%, and I'm just going to leave it like that. So we've got 3 bits of copy inside of here. And the simplest way that we can do that is we now have the new CSS parameters, which is on the typography. So this makes it slightly easier now, and it's to do with this breaking. No wrap. So what we can do is if we go to the heading, just drop in a heading tag. And we can't see it right now, but I'll just call this test copy. Oh, let's just rename that test copy. And as you can see, we've got 4 viewpoint width. Now I can't see that at the moment, so I'm just going to put it to white. As we can see here, we've got this copy. And let's just have a look at that. Okay, so what we want to do is, I'm just going to go back just to remind myself. So we had about, music, and contact. So we go about, and we do space, we do music, and contact. So now we've got that in. What we're going to do is we're just going to make the size really big. So we want to go, I'm going to do it with viewpoint width. Now I've been using viewpoint width quite regularly, and it's quite a nice thing for using titles, because actually when you bring the browser down, it brings the size of that copy down, which works really good. And then I'll probably just set this to like 100%. Probably put it down to 90. And this is where it makes it so much better, because now we go no wrap, and we've already got that set out, and that text is already going off. It's already off that page, somewhere down, God knows where, but it's basically in there. And then what we need to do is we need to think about this animation. So if we look at this, now if I tried flex and center, it actually moves that copy inside of that parent div. Now let's have a look. So now we're kind of in that area. We've kind of centered that. Obviously, you've got to bear in mind that the about copy is not as long as music, so it's slightly not in the middle. So there's a couple of things that we could try and get this working to get it into the middle. So one would be to put some padding in it. So we kind of size it up so it gets to the middle. See, we're starting to get there already, aren't we? Yeah, so we're just starting to move it across now. We've got that kind of in the middle. We've got the other two bits out on the side, which is perfect. That's what we want. And then what we need to do, we just need to check this, just to check. Let's just make sure it's doing what it should be doing. So I'm just going to quickly, publish it. So I just think about why I wanted to publish that then. Let's just quickly open it up and let's just see what it does when we resize the browser. So that's not bad. It stays in the middle quite well. Another little tip could be, let's not use pixels, let's use percent. So we've got 15%. Let's try 15%. 15% looks quite good. Again, let's just test that, see if that's working, see how it's looking, see if it's doing the right things. Let's just load that up again. Right, now you see percent, you see the difference in that now. You see how that just stays in the middle all the time. It stays in the position of where we wanted it to. I think it needs to be nudged over a slight bit more. So I think we could probably just go maybe 17. Again, just tweaking, get it in the right position, making sure that it is how we want it to be. Give it another little refresh. You see it just moved over. And again, I'm just eyeballing this up. I'm just checking the position of it, seeing whether it feels like it's in the middle. I still think you can come across a tad bit more. Let's put it on 19. I think 19 might be the winner. Probably be 20. You never know. Right, so there we go. So I'll go with that. I think that's a good place to be at. Resize it down to show how that looks. You know, obviously we're going to have, you know, from the example that I did, I changed it on mobile because it's not really something that you can do. It's more of a desktop experience. And then as you get down to the other screen sizes, you probably just have to stack this down into a list or something. So now we've got that in, we've got quite far, quite quickly. It's moving along quite well. Now what we need to do is select the body, and the thing that we can do with this is we do a mouse move in Viewpoint. And as you can see, main movement. And what I'll do, once I've finished this, we'll check this out and you can have a little look. Because it does get a little bit complicated, especially with when I had that image in the middle, because what I'm doing is I'm doing that top and bottom of that position, and it's changing depending on where I am. So the ones that we just want left and right. And we want to select that parent and we want to do a move. So that side, and if I go minus, it's going to go that way. So I don't know if that's the right way that I want to go, but I'm going to do it in percent. And I'm just going to move it along until I get to kind of where I want to see the contact. So that's kind of 78. And then on the way back, we want to do percent. And we're like that. Now we could use percent or we could use viewpoint width. And again, what I'll do is I'll go through that to see the differences, have a look, see what differences that make. I'd leave it on linear, but what I would do is increase this quite a bit, really pump this up to get it up so it's really moving. It's got lots of movement with it, really fluid. And let's just publish this and let's hope for the best. There you go. And that is pretty nice already. You know what I mean? You've already got that. I mean, that hasn't taken us long at all, really, to get that really nice effect. Obviously, I've got some rollovers that are applied to that, and there's certain things that I do. But the process to get to this point is quite small. Now, let's just say, for instance, we move the screen down. I know this is not But as you can see, so we're going to the left, we go to the right. Now, it might be that that's the wrong way. So it might mean that when you go to that side, you actually get it going the other way. Simplest way to do that, if you did want to do it like that, is you just flip. So that's minus. So you might have to change this a bit. You go that on 78. So if you have a look, that might be a bit far. So it's kind of there. And then on the other side, you want to make this to minus. And you just want to, we knew it was on 78. So we just flipped them around. So now, hopefully, the side that we move is the side that we're going to see. And that is hopefully how it works. So yeah, see, I move to that side, it gives me that side. I move to that side, and it gives me the other side. So that's probably a really good way to vary it. You could do it so it's opposite directions. You go that way, it goes the other way, or you go this way and it goes the other way. Now, some of the other things that I did, obviously, on my example, so if we just close that down, it will bring me back to the center. Some of the things that I did was I had some text in here. And again, I was just playing around with the movements of that. And if we go into here and just have a little look, now you can see on my original one. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly go here, and this will hopefully give you a little bit of an idea of how this has been put together and how it works. So if I have a little look around here, I've got main movement here. So if we have a look, so at the start, we've got the move at that position, and then we've got the move at the other position. Again, exactly what I just shown you. And oh, that was on a rotate. So yeah, again, and I've done it with pixels actually on this, and it's that one. Yeah. Oh, it's 34%. Yeah. So as you can see, yeah, I've done exactly the same as what I've showed you. But as you can see here, there's lots of different parameters in here. So what I've done is I've built out a background section that has the 3 images inside of it, and all I'm doing is just previewing this and working out where I need to change that image. So once the image goes out of that part of that section of about and goes into the music section, it's basically just changing that image. And again, it's just working out these parameters. Again, as you can see, they're kind of uneven here. The parameters of it are kind of uneven, and you've got opacities, and that's all it's doing. It's just fading the image in and out. And then I've added some nice hover effects on top of these. So the hover effects is just a little pop of the image. It's just a little scale, you know. So as you hold that, you start to get some movement. You've got the movement going left and right. You've also got the changes of the images, and then also you've got the scale. And then to finish off, we also have the subtext, which again, I think was in here. Let's just check. Subtext, yeah. So again, all I'm doing is just slightly offsetting the left and right on that subtext. And it's doing it by a class, so it would do all of them at the same time. As you can see, look, move back, move forward. So it's just going left and right. But as you can see, where they're positioned inside of the time frame, they're just offset to the rest of that animation. So the main animation of moving left to right, which gives it that slight delay. And that is as simple as it is. I know it may have looked really complex, and the great new feature of the no text wrap has really helped this. I actually built this completely different in this version here to get this to work, but now with the no text wrap, it's made it so much better. Hope you enjoyed this, guys. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you on the next tutorial.